What's going on, squad? Welcome back to the fourth installment of my top 5 favorite POV videos from the year before. This is basically an episode where I go through some of my runs from last year and just, say this one was profound or impactful or this was a challenging run and try to put them into a list. This doesn't mean that they are all super challenging runs, but it also doesn't mean that they weren't challenging runs, if that makes sense. Last year we had a little bit of everything from some POW skiing, some storm skiing, heli skiing, tree skiing, and this list kind of reflects some of my favorites out of all of those. But this list should really be like a top 7 list because I do have 2 honorable mentions that I just wanted to include. So I guess it is like a top 7 run. Anyways, the first honorable mention and basically number 7 on the list has to go to Great Scott on Snowbird Closing Day. For those who've been on the channel for a while, you know that Great Scott's just always been kind of one of those staples in my arsenal of runs. It's just a run that I always love doing any time of the year, and be able to do Great Scott on closing day of Snowbird as basically my last run of the ski season was pretty special. It was very thin on the top of the cirque there. I think we were kind of walking on rocks to look over the edge, and most people were looking over the edge, and then they started to say, yeah, nope, and skied away. But kind of was just trying to go over into my normal entry point, my normal zone over there, and as I was kind of going across the narrow little track, I saw this little choke over there, and figured that'd be a fun way to sort of send it off. So first honorable mention, number 7, is Great Scott at Snowbird up in Little Cottonwood Canyon on Snowbird Closing Day.
Oh no.
Literally not his plan.
It's a nice little shot. More grip in there than I thought, but
Taking the second honorable mention spot and number 6 on this list is Deer Valley's Daily Chute number 4. If you're unfamiliar, the daily chutes at Deer Valley are a pretty fun zone that's basically comprised of anywhere from 7, 8, 9 types of chutes that are challenging in their own right. But I think one of the fun in those chutes is trying to explore different zones in different ways down that same chute. And so for a while, I've always skied Daily Chute 4, kind of right down the choke, different points off the top, but for the most part, right through the choke and then on out into kind of the bowl underneath. But we had really good snow. It was kind of like a storm day, and I've always wanted to ski more of like the shoulder, almost straight fall line off the nose of Daily Chute 4. And I figured it was kind of felt good and was ready to give that a shot. So with the guidance of my dad, Papa Joe, on the radio below, I kind of picked my way right down the shoulder of Daily Chute 4, albeit I didn't really nail exactly what I wanted to. I think there's a kind of a cliff rock bend there, so it does make it kind of challenging and you really need some good snowpack. So that's why I'm not really ranking this much higher, but it was special and profound for me just because it's a run I've been skiing, my whole life. And so to kind of get a little different taste of it, and of course the video doesn't really do it justice on just how steep it was in some areas, but to be able to sort of pick my way down that face of Daily Chute 4 was a pretty cool and unique experience.
I just got down because there's definitely cliff bands and sketchy. I mean, it's great snow in there and super blower, but very cliffy.
all right, dropping.
completely to the tree line to the right and then angled back left.
Can I go right over this knoll here, or what's on the other side of this?
Not on the very top on your left. You got to kind of follow the tree line on your right and then cut back left below. Yep, stay right. Good. Now come. Maybe a little lower.
Running for that one?
Yeah.
You had a great line, dude. See, I went through that same little cluster there, but Soph pushed me a little right between the evergreen. You dropped that beautifully. That is a total sick ride there.
Now finally getting to the actual top 5 list here. Number 5 is one of my heli skiing runs with CMH Purcell from last year. I don't know what this is called, obviously, but it's back in the Purcell Mountains in Golden, British Columbia, kind of near Kicking Horse Mountain Resort. And while this run was not crazy difficult at all, it was actually quite mellow. The reason why this stuck out to me so much was just from the vastness and just sort of how big the vistas and the skiing felt, kind of having a run almost all to myself of that width and magnitude was such a beautiful day with the mountains out in front of me. For me, always kind of signifies like why I enjoy skiing, why I've been kind of attracted to skiing through my life, is the fact that you can just be outside, enjoy the mountains. And this run, for whatever reason, whenever I look at it, either from the POV footage or also from the sort of max follow cam drone footage from Abe Kislevitz, it just sort of depicts and illustrates like what I really enjoy in skiing, of just like really big, wide open skiing, and yeah, just kind of making it what you want. It's kind of illustrates almost, yeah, more of like an artist, you know, painting a picture or something like that. So for me, again, while this wasn't a crazy run, really short for the most part, but yeah, just one of those that makes me feel something inside.
I can't get over how straight down some of those peaks are out there.
Yeah.
That's straight up like 90 degrees.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the Selkirks.
Okay.
And a lot of those are have like classic alpine climbing routes in the summer as well. Like Sir Donald is kind of famous. We can't see it anymore, but
do you guys ever ski this closer ridge? Not the one right in front of us, but behind that?
behind.
With the trees and the little tree, Christmas trees?
Question that there must be skiing there. We're just not skiing it now because it's too low.
Obviously.
But yeah, I'm assuming. We can ask Erica. This is day 3 for me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Purcell.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, Kootenai.
Oh, that's right.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm ready. I'm gonna probably just stay behind you because of the shadows.
Okay. Cool.
Now number 4, we were back up in Little Cottonwood Canyon at Snowbird, probably no surprise. And this is a run that I've shown a few times here on the channel, but it is the kind of crazy storm day with the Cirque rope drop. This was just, yeah, one of those, not my deepest run of all time, but definitely my deepest day of the year last year. And I guess what made this cool was after going through the sort of gnarliness of just getting up to the bird on a pow day, a snow day, right after cruising around Gad Valley, waiting for the rest of the mountain to open. I got an Instagram DM, I remember, from my buddy Trek, who has some sort of inside information, you could say. And he was like, dude, they're about to open Peruvian Gulch, the front side, basically the Cirque. And I was reading this just as I was getting off Little Cloud. As I kind of cut across, you know, the Little Cloud Regulator Johnson area, I could see people stacked up down there at the Cirque. And like right as I was kind of coming up above everyone, they dropped the rope. So I kind of had speed on everyone who was standing there. So I was able to get to like the lower cirque, mid cirque basically. And you know, there's so much snow, so much terrain there that I had just the deepest run, continuous run of face shots, yeah, of the season and arguably of my life. And just a run that, you know, I've never had a snowbird rope drop, like caught it just like that before. So that's why this one is kind of cool.
Have fun, dude. Oh! 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 Oh my God!
While we're at Snowbird, let's just stay here for number 3. This is the Gad Chutes zone area. There's really 2 runs here. I couldn't really pick one over the other, and I feel like they both are kind of deserving to be here. So it's gonna be 2 runs, but this was a zone that I've never really skied before. I feel like the Gad Chutes are always an area that I would ski past. They're always kind of down there on the left, but I'm either, yeah, you know, going out to Restaurant Roll or Berry Berry Steep or out to Mach Schnell or something. So oftentimes it's easy to kind of miss the Gad Chutes. But for whatever reason, this day I kind of found myself in the chutes, and the Gad Chutes, in my opinion, really combine technical skiing with really fast, steep, decisive type of skiing. And with these runs, it took me a little while to actually, you know, think through where I was gonna go, try to scope the terrain out being by myself from the top. But I think in retrospect, it was cool looking at the runs to see how they rewarded strong and, yeah, confident decision-making in the runs.
I've never really skied these Gad Chutes before. Looks very rocky everywhere. There's a rock right there. Straight line through those rocks out to the right. Whoa! I didn't see that little rock at the bottom. Oh, I needed to go bigger on that. Oh, yeah! Woohoo! You know what I needed is like a map of that zone. How bad does it look? I wanted to get into this from the top. It's always tighter than it looks, eh? Oh, but it's good. Oh, oh, that was fun. A little bit nervous on what's underneath that, but oh, the snow is so good right now. Look how beautiful this is.
Getting into the top 2 here, number 2 is over at Park City Mountain Resort. This is, yeah, my all-time best tree run, I want to say, or at least, yeah, either the best or the second best. This took place during that superstorm that hit northern Utah in January at some point. So we were kind of stuck to the trees, largely due to visibility. And at the time, McConkey's was really the only like upper mountain terrain that was open during the storm. And I'd like to think that I've skied a fair amount of trees in my skiing career at this point. But to me, this was by far kind of the quickest and most agile I've skied a series of trees, especially being a zone that I don't want to say I'm not familiar with, but I'm certainly not, you know, I'm more familiar in some other zones, put it that way. So the fact that I skied this as quickly and just sort of as powerfully as I did was kind of surprising to myself. And I think I even made a comment at the end of, the speed that was present through the tree run. But still to this day, like as I posted it to Instagram Reels and YouTube Short and all those other kind of bull crap type of things, I get accused of it being sped up. So I try to keep like the whole clip right from like the beginning when I'm just getting ready, my poles on and stuff, right on through the end. But yeah, this was just cool because it showed the raw speed and challenge of tree skiing, and again, just sort of a culmination of my ever evolving and progressing skill set over the years as a skier.
Wow, that was an absolutely moving tree line.
And for the #1 spot, again, it's hard to actually like definitively rank these and all this sort of stuff, but we're going north of the border up to Kicking Horse in Golden, British Columbia. I went on like a week-long sort of trip up here, and there's honestly a lot of runs in this trip that I thought were really challenging, were unique, and everything like that. So it's kind of hard for me to pick just like one of these. But the reason why I like these runs on the last day of our trip is that it involves some teamwork and essentially shows the camaraderie that I have with my dad, Papa Joe, who's obviously been a huge figure in my skiing and my life in general. The zone is called the White Wall at Kicking Horse, and you kind of climb up like these little steps, and then you kind of hike across this ridge, and then you're greeted with like this really big, just wide open face. And they had like a few inches or centimeters, should I say, overnight. So we had like a nice dusting of snow, beautiful bluebird day, all that type of stuff. But what was challenging with a zone like this, not only are we not familiar with the terrain, it's really hard to see, so it kind of required someone being the guinea pig and going down blind on their own. And then once they have a view of the zone, radioing back up to whoever's up at the top and kind of directing them where they think they should go. So this was the case for this run. Joe ended up going down first, kind of the sacrificial lamb, you might say, and then he basically guided me through this really beautiful, almost untracked type couloir that then opened up into the bowl. But it's not something you would really see unless you really knew it was there. I mean, could you've kind of picked your way into it? Sure, but just again, the teamwork of having Joe direct me essentially blind. I'm just going, he's saying left, right, wherever, drop here. And so just looking back at it, not only was it a pretty gnarly little run, just the whole experience to do that with my dad, Joe. I remember we were so stoked on that day in general, skiing that zone, and just kind of combines everything from some good skiing to beautiful mountains, bluebird day, then being there with my dad and my sister, even for that matter, kind of wraps everything up you could ask for in a ski day or a ski experience and kind of presents it to you as like, here you go. It doesn't get much better than this. So for #1, going up north of the border to Kicking Horse Mountain Resort.
So can we go to our right, or is it only kind of where you went? What does it look like kind of around us?
You can go left and right of where I went, because I kind of did once I got in it. It's just those big knobs are actual rock cliff bands.
But left or right of them is skiable. The big knob to your right, kind of high right, that's got a sweet angled couloir right down through it with untracked snow.
All right, you're going to try to go to the skier's right of that big knob. and then you'll see an angled couloir. It's going to be beautiful.
Drop there, drop there.
Okay, dropping.
Left, left, left. Straight down now. Yep, right down.
Oh, that was sick. Oh, wow. Wow.
That's legit.
Dude, that was,
Dude, I hit you.
that was a good few
Yeah,
times.
I had you.
But that was,
No, okay, now see the dark guy up there, the man walking in the
Yeah.
black. See the big knob?
oh yeah. That's
Okay, to the knob. You went
Yeah,
to
through there.
the skier's right of that knob, and then you came down when I said 4 o'clock, and then you came right down that couloir at an angle, and then right straight down at us. You nailed it perfect. Was it pretty gnarly?
It was gnarly. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always,
But the snow was good, wasn't it?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone was in there.
No, it was untracked.
Yeah.
Man, it's way tighter than it looks.
Yeah.
And that concludes the fourth installment of my top ski runs of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of like a more of a raw look of some of these runs. And yeah, just something that I always like looking back on and comparing my top 5 from 4 years ago to now, and not only seeing the different runs I like to ski, seeing how I evolve or progress as a skier, as a filmmaker, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are getting stoked for some snow. I appreciate you all. Take it easy, fam. Peace out.